Good morning to all. Welcome back to our history class. Today we are going to begin a new chapter, chapter 4, What Books and Burials Tell Us. Students, have you heard of Vedas? Yes, Vedas are a collections of poems and hymns written in Sanskrit. And it is also one of the oldest books in the world. Veda means knowledge. There are 4 Vedas: Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda and Atharva Veda. The oldest Veda is Rig Veda, composed about 3500 years ago. The Rig Veda includes more than 1,000 hymns called Sukta or well said. These hymns are in praise of various gods and goddesses. 3 gods are especially important: Agni, the god of fire; Indra, a warrior god; and Soma, a plant from which a special drink was prepared. These hymns were composed by sages or rishis. Most of the hymns were composed, taught and learned by men. A few were composed by women. Rig Veda composed in Old Sanskrit or Vedic Sanskrit. Vedic Sanskrit was very different from the Sanskrit language we use today. It was written down several centuries after it was first composed and printed less than 200 years ago. Okay? Then Sanskrit and other languages. Students, you have understood that the Rig Veda was written in Vedic Sanskrit. Sanskrit is a part of the Indo-European language family. Some Indian languages such as Assamese, Gujarati, Hindi, Kashmiri and Sindhi, and many European languages such as English, French, German, Greek, Italian and Spanish belong to this family. They are called a family because they originally had words in common. For example, the words Madra in Sanskrit, Ma in Hindi and Mother in English seem to be similar. Some other languages spoken in the subcontinent belong to different families. For example, languages spoken in the northeast belong to Tibeto-Burman family. Tamil, Telugu, Kannada and Malayalam belong to the Dravidian family. And the languages spoken in Jharkhand and central India belong to the Austro-Asiatic family. Okay? Look here, you can see a picture. This is a page from the manuscript of the Rig Veda. It is found in Kashmir. It is written on the bark of a beech tree. About 150 years ago, it was used to prepare one of the earliest printed texts of Rig Veda as well as an English translation. It is now preserved in a library in Pune, Maharashtra. Then, how historians study the Rig Veda? Historians like archaeologists study the past by examining written sources in addition to material remains. The Rig Veda is one such written source that the historians examine. Some of the hymns in the Rig Veda are in the form of dialogues. This is a part of one such hymn a dialogue between a sage named Vishwamitra and two rivers, Beas and Satluj, that were worshipped as goddesses. Okay. Now we see the conversation between the sage Vishwamitra and the rivers. Vishwamitra, O rivers, come down from the mountains like two swift horses. You move like chariots to the sea through the power of Indra. You are full of water and wish to unite with one another. The rivers, we who are full of water, move along the path the gods have made for us. Once we start flowing, we cannot be stopped. Why do you pray to us, O sage? Vishwamitra, O sisters, please listen to me, the singer who has come from a distance with his chariots and carts. Let your waters not rise above our axles, so that we can cross safely. The rivers, we will listen to your prayers so that you can cross safely. Historians point out that this hymn was composed in the area where these rivers flow. They also suggest that the sage lived in a society where horses and cows were valued animals. That is why the rivers are compared to horses and cows. Rivers like Indus, Saraswati, Ganga and Yamuna are also named in other hymns. Okay. Now, cattle, horses and chariots. The Rigveda was many prayers for cattle, children and horses. Battles were fought for cattle, land and water. Wealth that was obtained was distributed among people. Some wealth was used for the performance of yajnas or sacrifices in which offerings were made into the fire. These were meant for gods and goddesses. Offerings could include ghee, grain, and in some cases animals. People met and discussed matters of war and peace in assemblies. Then, words to describe people. People are described in the terms of the work they do, the language they speak, the place they belong to, their family, their communities and cultural practices. There are two groups of people in terms of their work: the Brahmins or priests and the Rajas. Brahmins perform various rituals. Rajas did not have capital cities, palaces or armies. Generally, sons did not automatically succeed fathers as Rajas. People who compose the hymns called themselves Aryans, and they call their opponents Dasas. Okay. Let us recap the session. In today's class, first we have learned Vedas, one of the oldest books in the world. Veda means knowledge. There are 4 Vedas: Rigveda, Samaveda, Yajurveda and Atharva Veda. Next, Rigveda. The Rigveda is the oldest of the Vedas. It composed about 3500 years ago. The Rigveda includes more than 1000 hymns called Sukta or well said. These hymns are in praise of various gods and goddesses, mainly Agni, Indra and Soma. It composed in Vedic Sanskrit. Next, cattle, horses and chariots. Rigveda has prayers for cattle, children and horses. Horses were used in battles. Battles were fought for cattle, land, people and water. People met and discussed matters of war and peace in assemblies. Then, words to describe people. According to the Rig Veda, there are two groups of people in terms of their work: the priests or Brahmins and the Rajas. The priests perform various rituals while the Rajas rule. People who compose the hymns call themselves Aryans and they call their opponents Dasas. Okay, thank you children. Have a nice day.